Hey, 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 party people! How are you? What's up? Welcome to our very first Chatting with Doug on a Wednesday.
Yes, first Wednesday stream, I think. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
cool.
Unfortunately, I was really hoping that there would be, as many people were, I'm sure, that there'd be a Nostalgia Critic today, so that people coming from the Nostalgia Critic video.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that. Warner said, yeah, you followed the rules, so we're gonna punish you. We're doing our best to get it out there. Yeah, it's not fair, but that's life.
Yeah, stupid DMCA takedown.
Mm.
But yes, hello, welcome. Today it is just Doug. Just Doug.
And Heather.
And Heather, yes, but I'm little. I'm very little in this scenario.
Oh, you're awesome, Heather. We love you.
Thanks, Doug. But yes, I see we are already in a level 2 hype train. Thank you all so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you for showing up too. I was looking at the little thing because I know we shipped the day and I was just like, so what, are we going to have like 10, 12 people? I was like, oh, okay, they ain't bad, they ain't bad.
Yeah. No,
Thank you for paying attention.
We tried to let people know ahead of time. We tried, and then I got COVID, so. Why don't we get on with the rules here, so that we can get moving on some of these questions. First and foremost, we're going to give priority to the bit messages, since that is some real world money spent. Sometimes we have time for highlighted questions at the end of stream, so you might want to wait until the end of stream, and I shouldn't say might want to, you will. You'll want to wait until the end of stream, or towards the end of stream, to highlight the messages, because I physically cannot scroll up and see the messages. I just can't do it, because this is a live streaming platform. So wait until we seem to be catching up before you highlight the message. Please, no paragraphs. It can get really long, really confusing, and I'm going to read it really fast, and then we could lose the question. So it's better to have short and sweet, so that we can talk more about the thing that you would like discussed. Also, please, no spoilers. I don't know if you all know this, because I didn't know this until I streamed this afternoon. Did you all know there's a new episode of Obi-Wan? That Obi-Wan's apparently coming out on Wednesdays, not Fridays. It just premiered on a Friday. So if you watched the episode of Obi-Wan...
Good. I'm not the only one. I was kind of surprised by that too.
I had no idea! So if you no Obi-Wan spoilers, okay? No spoilers. People haven't had a chance to watch it because some people didn't even know. I genuinely would not have even known. Unless
but we will give our thoughts, because I got thoughts.
No spoilers, though, Doug.
No spoilers,
Don't
just thoughts.
Follow your... No spoilers, just thoughts. Yes. No Stranger Things spoilers either. Thank you, Mum Ra. Not everyone has had a chance to watch all of them, but just, in general, just no spoilers, okay? There. Is that it? Or did I just die? Did my brain just
Don't repeat
die?
yourself over
Thank
and
you,
over and
Doug.
over. It's
Wow.
good to get yourself timed out or even banned.
See,
Nobody
he doesn't
wants
just
that.
mime. He doesn't just mime it. Sometimes he does listen.
But it's doing, over a year of Friday streams now. I think that's why I know. It only took me a little over a year, but I got there.
We got there. Other than that, I think that
we're good.
is everything. Cool, great, amazing. Uh-oh, Doug put a lot of emphasis on thoughts. He has thoughts.
They don't happen often, but when they do,
be prepared. That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, you beautiful flowers of hope, wisdom, and nostalgia. Wow.
Hey,
How you doing?
Great now. Fuck.
Hanging in there. NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. So, Doug, how long can we expect for the NC delay? Hours? Days?
Years. No, I don't know. I mean, usually with these things, I mean, it depends when they actually watch the video and say, oh, it's a review. I mean, I was telling Heather, critic is in the title. Nostalgia critic. It's like you think they put it together, but no, I usually they let it go fast. I don't know why this one's going so long. So we'll see what happens, but yeah. We'll see.
We're just not in control of it, so we couldn't even begin to tell you. Psychotic Yoshi, thank you so much for the 14-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Thank you. B. Bolin, thank you for the 57 bits. Hey, you guys, I would love a nostalgia critic on Zootopia.
Eh, and I like it. I did Disney December on it. That's probably the best I can do because it's one of those. I feel like a lot more people could go into better detail about it, about what works about and the different layers it works on than I can. I feel like I kind of summed it up in the Disney December, and I can't go into like too much more detail.
Hmm.
So yeah, I feel like I could do it and it'd be fine, but I'm like, nah, no, this is someone else's wheelhouse to like really, really dive into why this movie works.
Hmm. Hi, Farad. Farad's in chat. Everyone say
Oh,
hello to
hi.
Farad. We like him. Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Congratulations to one and all for not only have this new time of the week to Q&A, but also my birthday. Yay
Oh,
me!
happy birthday. Nice.
Yay! Happy birthday! How exciting.
I love what he said. How exciting.
Sorry, listen, I can only conjure up so much energy right now, okay? Doug,
I
we're
almost
trying
thought it
our
was a
best.
compliment.
We're doing our best. Doug!
I
No,
wasn't
just kidding.
making fun of you.
I'm
It's
just
a
kidding.
compliment. The COVID is making you crazy.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks. Oh, that
What?
Disney nerd.
I didn't say anything.
No. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to have some water and no. That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. These are the last bits I'll be able to send for a while. No problem, no pressure. I'm struggling a bit financially. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So my final question for a while is, what did you think of that Pinocchio teaser?
Just looks like Pinocchio. I don't know. I guess the only thing that stood out I thought was a little weird. I thought the fairy's haircut was a little odd. Like if you're gonna go for the whole like the blue long blue dress, the sparkles and stuff, and that time period, somebody's short haircut looks weird. But yeah, everything else is just very typical. Okay, Robert Zemeckis, Pinocchio, Tom. It's exactly what you would think it would be. So I don't know. It'll probably suck.
I don't know what it was, but I felt like Tom Hanks was almost putting on like a weird voice where he was like, "Ah,
Because he is. He
Geppetto."
can't do a normal performance anymore. He has to have a weird voice, a weird accent.
What was he
And
doing?
they're never good. That's what's so weird. He's a good actor. He doesn't need silly voices. It's so bizarre. I don't know why he
Yes.
keeps picking roles where he has like weird accents.
Right,
He's not good at them.
who was like, yes, that's a great choice, a wonderful choice. Like,
I almost feel like he's trolling now because everyone says he's a really cool guy. He's a funny guy. I'm like, I think he's just trolling, be like, let's see what goofy voice I can do now. People be like, bro, man.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, man, we got a lot of compliments today. Hello, you visually resplendent people. How does it
Resplendent.
feel? Resplendent,
I
yes.
love that.
How does it feel being on a Wednesday now? Also, could you please do an NC on Chip and Dale? There's so much to talk about at some point.
Oh, the new one? Maybe? Is there that much? I liked it.
It was so
I
much
had a good
fun.
time. Maybe I will just to like talk about how people are getting so into it because you're right, people get into it like really get into it, and that is kind of fascinating. So maybe start working that in might be an idea.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 150 bits. And man, just the compliments keep coming. Hello to the tremendously talented trio. Well, it's only the two of us now. I've got some great news. My little cousin, Joseph Vincent, was born this past Sunday, and he's back home today. Now we have to wait until we get to meet him. Give them a few more
Congrats.
days to settle, Super excited.
Yeah, tell him happy birthday.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kermit Wazowski, thank you so much for the 31 heckin' months. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hope everyone's doing all right and you're on the mend, Heather. Yeah, thank you. I am. I'm still annoyed because I've got like this congestion, if you can still hear going on, and like a light cough, but
We said she doesn't have to. Just put it out there.
yes, Doug, yes, you are correct. I was the one who was like
Oh,
getting
you got COVID.
stir
Boo,
crazy.
Get
Well,
that straight.
I've been kind of quarantined to the second floor, and the office at least is in the second floor, but like it's just been one room for like 7 days. So I was like,
Oh,
yeah, let's
man.
stream.
Holy
Let's
shit.
stream. I can go into the other room today. Let's stream. I can go into the other room. NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, remember at the end of your NC review for Rogue One, you asked Chris Stuckman, will we ever get a Darth Vader scene as cool as the one in this movie? Well, I say, you got your wish after playing Jedi Fallen Order.
That was pretty cool. Still not quite as cool as the Rogue One, though, but it's
yeah.
I'll say I was more invested in the characters in Fallen Order during the Darth Vader scene, so that's cool. But yeah, I still think the Rogue One ending is one of the most badass things I've ever seen.
I agree, and I think what the Rogue One ending is, I think, more badass. And I love Jedi Fallen Order, but I think the thing that's cool about Jedi Fallen Order is it's less about how badass he is and more about how terrifying he is. Like, I remember when I first played that being like, oh shit, run. Holy God, run. Oh my God, run. Oh, Jesus, he's gonna get me. Like, run.
And now he can blow out fires, and then when they're lit up, he can't blow them out. Sorry, that's kind
No
of...
spoilers.
Sorry. I have thoughts.
He has thoughts. Mumra, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey all, what's your favorite new Stranger Things season 4 character? Mine is Eddie Munson. Also, how good are the chances we'll see Hellfire Club t-shirts at Target for sale? I need one ASAP.
I haven't seen season 4. I'm not gonna lie. Season 3 really put me off. I didn't get into it. And even season 2, I was still riding the high of season 1, but I was like, it's kind of the same thing, but fuck it. I love these characters so much, and I love this world. I want more. By the time 3 rolled around, I'm just like, nah, I'm out of it. I lost it.
Really?
Yeah, but I guess people say 4 is okay, so maybe I should give it a shot, but I don't, because I guess the original idea was they were going to do a different story each season, I guess.
Oh, really?
And then, but the first one was so popular, like, get those kids back, and people love them too much and everything. So I think I would have liked it more if they had a different story each season. But again, I did like season 2, but it was a lot of repeat. And then 3, I'm just like, I can't get into this anymore. But I should give 4 a chance, because I hear it's okay.
Yeah, season 4 has been very good. I agree. I also really like Eddie. He's, I think, my favorite new character from season 4. I really enjoyed season 4. I think you'd like it, Doug.
Okay, all right. I trust you. I wanted to wait for word of mouth, and I guess people are saying it's pretty good, so I should check it out.
Yeah. It's a lot more dark and mature. So I think
cool.
It's nice that it, like, evolved. You
Does
know
it
what
actually
I mean?
grow up with the kids?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Okay, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, everybody. What are your thoughts on the Pinocchio teaser that was just released?
That's what we forgot to mention. Look and see if your question's been listed before, just so we don't, have to give you the table scraps version. It didn't do anything for me, but I don't know. It didn't look awful. But it's probably gonna be awful.
It is, well, because part of it, too, is that it looks like they're trying to be, quote-unquote, faithful to the animated movie, but some of the stuff that they did in that animated movie, I don't know how they would A, translate to live action, or B, if they could get away with that nowadays.
Yeah, some of it.
I mean, I'll kids smoking?
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Right.
Yeah, actually. I'll say that I didn't even think about this. Zemeckis has fun going over the top dark with stuff, like the Christmas Carol and parts of Polar Express. It will be fun to see what he does with some of the darker stuff in there, because I think he'll have a good time with some of the imagery. I didn't think about that. That's actually kind of a good point. So yeah. I'll look forward to that.
Yeah. CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. Dear Heather, thank you for telling me about how you got your PS5. After registering twice, getting a weird message on the second event that led me to report the issue to PlayStation, them working on the issue and giving me access to a slightly more exclusive event, I finally got one! Amazing. I'm so glad. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. In case you don't know, because people don't always know this, if you go on PlayStation's website, you can put your email into a lottery to be chosen to be some of the first people to buy a PS5 when a batch of PS5s is released. That's how I got mine. That's how my brother-in-law got his. Put your name in that raffle if you want a PS5. Okay?
I should probably do that, because now we're streaming more and more like kind of current games. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should look into.
And Doug,
I think about.
We use it for work. I wrote mine off. You can write yours off. Then they also said thoughts on the new Pokemon professors.
That's all you, Heather. I don't know shit
They
about that.
they're hot. I don't know what
Well, now I
what
gotta
was
look
up
this
with Pokemon, but they're pretty hot. I do think it's wild though that this is the first one where it depends on which game you get, which professor you get. It's if you're looking up, Doug, look up Scarlet and Violet. The professors for Scarlet and Violet. It was just released today.
Scarlet and Violet.
The dude for Violet looks like that meme of that guy. I can't even express it, what I'm trying to say, but he looks like that like perfect guy meme where he's got the stubble and the hair and the like squared off chin.
I see what you're talking about. Okay, yeah. I can see that. He looks a little better in the hand drawn. I'm not gonna lie, but the CG in that, yeah, he's a GI Joe.
Yeah. Giga Chad and Professor Snoo Snoo, CM Sully. Okay, I love that. I love that. NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, here's an idea. Ice Age month. Or, since Disney owns it now, Disney-cember works too.
Okay,
great. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you guys seen the new Predator trailer called Prey? It's set during the early North America with Native Americans fighting a predator. I have not.
Oh, here it is. Is it a movie or a game? I think it's no. Wait, I think it's a game. I love this. I love this cover. It's got one with the bow and arrow and the predators. All right, or no, it's this movie. No, it's a film. Okay. Huh. Cool. Looks cool. Prey is also a game. Okay, this is weird. I look up Prey. Here's a game. It's a person walking and like this black smoke sneaking up. The one for the Predator one is like the exact same layout, except it's a woman in the woods and the Predator sneaking up. That's weird. That's why I thought it was the same thing. That's so weird.
That is weird. That is. I am Chris. Thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, what are your thoughts on the new Winnie the Pooh horror movie, Blood and Honey?
I've only seen pictures, but sounds funny to me. Yeah, I'm down.
Right. I don't think anyone's going to take it too seriously. I don't know how you could, but...
I hope somebody does. I just want to see what a person like that says. Ruin the mythos.
It is art. Burnsy, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Has there ever been an actor you thought would have an amazing career, but not really, or vice versa?
I'm sure there are, but because they didn't have amazing careers, I forget about them. I'm trying to think of people that I thought like did something else and I thought could maybe translate well to acting, like did a little acting but didn't do much. Two that popped to mind, I think everyone was like, oh, they're gonna suck, and they were okay and they didn't do much. Dennis Rodman, I didn't think was that bad an actor, actually, for like what he's doing, the little action film stuff. I thought was okay. And I thought Eminem was actually a pretty good actor, surprisingly, in 8 Mile. I know there's others, but yeah, I'd have to go through a list of like, underappreciated actors kind of thing.
Since I've got Stranger Things on the brain, it was always interesting to me that the kid who plays Dustin didn't get like movie offers like Finn Wolfhard did. Because honestly, I think he's the best actor of the kids.
Well, he's the most memorable too. I mean, as soon as you see his face, you're like, oh, Stranger Things, absolutely. Where the other kids, like sometimes I have to remind myself, oh yeah, they're from Stranger Things. So that is strange that they didn't go with someone that's just like instantly recognizable.
Yeah. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Do we really need an Andor series? This is why people complain about there being too much to watch. It seems like Disney Plus is afraid of losing subscribers, just like with Boba Fett, an Andor series based off a guy we didn't really care about on an okay movie. Okay, first of all, Rogue One is more than okay. No.
Well, so it is maybe I'm behind on this. What is an Andor movie? Is that like a spin-off movie? Is that what?
It's a series. It's going to be a series on Disney Plus.
Oh. I thought /or is what I thought it was like a type of movie or series.
No. It's
so is that dude from Rogue One? The main dude? Okay, because I'm
Cassian.
looking at
wait, who's Cassian Andor? My brain
but it's someone from Rogue One.
Yes.
Is in there because I'm looking at this. I'm like, it's weird they're doing a show without anyone from any of the movies or anything. And then I saw like a picture of a dude. I'm like, wait, I think he was from Rogue One. Like I said, I haven't
Yes.
seen it that much. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. It's weird because it didn't grab me, the trailer, but I might take that as a good sign. It kind of looked like it was gonna do like a Game of Thrones thing where there's a lot of like political talk, which I mean, it didn't work well for the prequels, but I mean, like in Clone Wars, sometimes it did. So I don't know. It's not grabbing me, but I'm not totally closed off to it either. I actually really like the idea of a Mos Eisley show. I guess they were going to do that. I'm like, no, I would have seen that. Make it like Sin City. That would have been cool. I guess they kind of tried with Boba Fett, but yeah, I don't know. Because I love Mos Eisley. I thought that would have been really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for the Andor series, but I do also agree that there's too much content right now. Disney Plus is just throwing everything it can at the wall, and it's not. It is unnecessary for sure. NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, how far are you into Amphibia, and what are your thoughts so far?
I'm still in season 1. What's the one I just saw? The one where she was faking being sick, I think. It's fine. The one thing I don't like the way, because obviously it's going to be a longer story like they do with Gravity Falls and Adventure Time and stuff. They don't tie in at all to what's going on. Like there'll be just some episode where it's like she'll have acne and then the frogs like it and then she'll want to keep it funny. By the way, here's the box that brought me here. Oh, let's look into the history of it. It's like, where'd that come from? So I wish that tied in a lot better, because I mean, I know that's always kind of the charm, is that there's episodic ones and then one's part of a longer story, but like they never have any connection whatsoever. So that's the one thing that I'm like, that's a little odd.
Matt Hanna, thank you for the 50 bits. I saw the Pinocchio 2022 trailer, and I'm gonna be honest, I really want to like this film because I love Pinocchio so much. It's just, the Blue Fairy looks good, but she does not look invested.
I mean, it's only one clip. And again, it's a Disney live action remake. Nobody's gonna look invested. That's how they work.
It's true.
It's funny talking now, thinking about the darker parts in the movie, it's Robert Rodriguez, that has given me a little bit of excitement. Because here's the thing, even if they don't work, it'll be hilarious how much they don't work, or it'll be legit creepy. Or both. So I'm kind of looking forward to that the more I think about it.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. So, Doug, during your outro with Cameo, I have to ask, how is it to be next to Doug, who have such sights to show us?
Yeah, I just typed in, like, because I needed like an image, so I just typed in Doug Walker and it popped up. It showed all the other Dougs, and I'm just like, oh, cool, next to Hellraiser. All right, that's pretty cool. I dig that. And I'm next to Dougie Doug, which is also pretty
That
cool.
is hilarious. I love
really
that.
like Dougie Doug. I can't help it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. If the Multiverses game gets special guest characters, what characters outside of Warner Brothers properties would you like to have?
You know what? No, so funny. Whenever I hear multiverse, I still think of Doctor Strange. So I think like, oh, like a Doctor Strange game? That'd be kind of cool. And that's like outside of Warner Brothers. But wouldn't it be cool to get Warner Brothers characters? Oh, you mean like the
Multiverses.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like you got to get Mickey Mouse, because just seeing Mickey Mouse fight Bugs Bunny is the ultimate end game.
For some reason, I think it'd be fun to get Nicktoons in there. To have like
cool.
some of the...
the Nickelodeon fighting game. Get like those characters. You already have the bits, the graphics and everything for it, so...
That'd be fun, I think. Pokemon Heroes, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Green Lantern animated series, Doug? It's 100 times better than the movie.
I saw one time I was at a con. It's where whenever I'm at a convention, there's never anything on TV, so I just go to Cartoon Network, and even if it's like a kid show, I'm like, I don't know, see what the kids are watching. I don't know. And that was on. I just saw one episode, and I remember really liking it. And I didn't even see the movie. I know nothing about Green Lantern, and I was really invested in what was going on. So I was just like, all right, yeah. When people were saying like, no, it's a really good show, it's like, I only saw one episode. It was great, so I believe you.
Yeah, I've yet to watch it, which is bad of me because I like Green Lantern, but I'll get to it eventually. There's too many things to watch, okay?
Right.
Too many things. Hewlett fan, thank you for the 50 bits. Why is there so much Pinocchio content coming out recently? Also, did you ever see the 2019 Pinocchio film by Matt Garone? Garoni? I don't know. It's actually pretty good.
I started it. and I have it saved. I still have to go back and finish it. I don't know why I haven't, because it did look really good. And I was enjoying it fine, but yeah, I keep forgetting about it, so I gotta finish that. So thank you for the reminder. I think because it's a public domain character, and they probably found out Disney and why am I blanking on his name? Blade 2, Pan's Labyrinth. Why am I blanking on him?
I'm sorry, I was only half paying
Shape of
attention. I was
Water.
looking at
What's
chat.
his name?
Oh, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, is doing it. There's probably some people figuring like, well, if they're doing it, we can, asylum this and sort of ride, the people checking it out and stuff like that. And I don't know, they're gonna have to try hard to match the Pauly Shore one, man. I don't think anyone's gonna top that.
that
was
masterpiece.
so entertaining.
Talking of Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Don't get me wrong, I love Infinity War, but when people put it above Endgame, I find it odd. We get slightly more with Endgame, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I do like Infinity War more, and I do like Endgame. When I was vacationing this past, a couple months ago, they were running them back to back on TNT, and we're just like, getting stuff, just vegging out and stuff like that in between like trails and stuff. And so I saw a little bit of Infinity War. I'm like, man, just sucks you in. I go and do something else. I come back, it's still on. Man, I'm getting so sucked in. Oh, okay, I gotta go, or we're gonna go to the beach or something. I come back, and Endgame is on. I'm like, oh, that scene. Yeah, okay. Go do something, come back. Oh, I remember this scene. Okay, now it's over. Let me go do something else. Infinity War, no matter where it is, aside from maybe the Thor portal thing that was a little boring, just keeps you like sucked in and engaged the whole time. Where with Endgame, even though it's really good, and I get why they did this, I feel like we kind of got like the director's cut, if that makes sense. And I always kind of feel like, you could have cut that out. You could have trimmed that. You didn't need that. But I get why it's there, because this is the big curtain call for a lot of these actors and these characters and stuff. So I do get it, and that's why I don't really hold it over it. But that's why I like Infinity War more. For as much as is in there, it feels like they never waste a minute, not even like a line. Like everything is just pushing the story forward or the characters forward or something like that. But again, Endgame, I think, really did earn that. And again, that last third act, phenomenal. I mean, it's like absolute perfection. So yeah, I like them both.
Cool. Pat and Soa, thank you for the 50 bits. Good day, everyone. Didn't make it to the chat last week, but holy crap, was that Walter and Tombstone review? It's like the unicorn of Channel Awesome. My plans for a big team review soon. Oh, any plans? Sorry. Any plans for a big team review soon?
It's funny because I was asking Walter, because I said some of the ones we had planned, like the TV ones, like Kids WB or something like that, or One Saturday Morning or TGIF. I'm like, I need the group for this, and Walter's got a lot going on with like the Twilight Zone, Batman, fanscription and stuff like that. And he says like, no, I can do it. I'm available. And I'm like, I want to hold off. I want to really, really make sure everyone's like comfortably available to do something like that. So we will get to it. They are on the list. Like I said, we just had the pandemic and then a lot of other stuff that I feel like we're all catching up with still, even so long after. So we'll get to it. There are plans to do it. I'm just not sure when yet.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 50 bits. Are you a fan of the Valve games like Portal, Half-Life, Team Fortress 2? All still masterpieces, especially Portal in the sequel. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Portal is one of my favorite gaming franchises, period, end of sentence. I adore Portal. I put an embarrassing amount of hours into, well, you know what? It's not that embarrassing. It's a Team Fortress 2. I spent a lot of time playing Team Fortress 2. I still have a Pyro keychain on my car keys.
That's the nice thing about gaming. You can never say I put an embarrassing amount of time into it, because there's always someone who legit put an embarrassing amount of time, like, and put in more. I've only played out of those games, I've only played the first Portal, and of course loved it. I mean, it's like, it's a perfect game. I mean, it's a perfect idea for a game. The story is so simple, and the characters, what few there are so simple, but they're so memorable and so funny, and the dark, twisted sense of humor, the way it tells the story without ever having to cut to a cutscene. I love it. Like, that's just a perfect game to me. And I still have to play the sequel.
You really should. Maybe that'll be a good palate cleanser, because J.K. Simmons in that game is
Yeah,
perfection.
I saw the trailer and I said, "This looks great." And for some reason, I know why. I was just too busy. But yeah, I do have to get around to playing that.
Yeah. And since we're not too far behind on the messages, I'll tell you all a quick story too. Portal 2 is the only game I ever, as a teacher, took the day off to play release day. I took the day off when Portal 2 was released, downloaded it at midnight, stayed up all night and all day playing it, and then came back to school on like that Monday or something, and my students were like, "Did you happen to take off for Portal 2?" And I was like, "What? No. Absolutely. Did you guys play it this weekend? Let's talk."
It's problem solving. It kind of makes sense. It's puzzles. It's educational.
Right. Darth Loman, thank you for the 50 bits. Greeting. Here's an animated series recommendation for you, Metalocalypse on Adult Swim. It's gruesome and raunchy, but also hilarious, heartfelt, and even dramatic, with some creatively dark gothic imagery.
I gotta give that another chance, because I feel like I tried watching it twice, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't grabbing me, but it has so much I would love in a show like that. I think it weren't even the creators, like some of the people who did like home movies and stuff like that. So I'm just like, why aren't I enjoying this? Why aren't I? So I feel like I gotta just watch it from the beginning, just stick it out and watch it, to see what everyone's talking about, because everyone says it's great. But man, finding time is tricky, because there's just, like Heather said, so much I gotta watch.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 50 bits. So you heard about the Winnie the Pooh horror movie?
Yeah, I'm excited. Why, as I keep saying, why wouldn't I be excited for that?
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. In my opinion, I think they mean Inquisitors. Inquisitor's lightsaber hilt is way cooler than the Knights of Ren lightsaber hilt. Which hilt, in your opinion, is the best?
I don't remember what are they?
Do you
the
mean
Knights
like
of
Kylo
Ren?
Ren's? Because did the Knights of Ren have different ones, or was it just Kylo's that had the guard? The cross guard.
All I'm seeing is Kylo Ren as it. So it makes more sense for the Inquisitors, because you can spin it around, do more stuff. I never did quite get the idea of the little 3 one that pops up.
It's a crossguard to protect your hand. There's no crossguard on other lightsabers. You could just slice someone's hand easily
come
off.
around the other way. What?
But you could.
Why does it have to be this way?
You can also use it to parry. Like catch their blade and then parry a certain way. I love the idea of a crossguard on a lightsaber.
It looks cool, but I'm just like, I don't know. I never saw. I remember when that was the biggest problem with Star Wars. People are like, "Why are those 2 little things come out? The Star Wars is ruined." It's like, oh, wait, buddy, wait.
The crystal that powers it is cracked. That's right. That's why there's the little part there. But I do think the Inquisitor's lightsaber is more interesting anyway, but I just also really like the design of Kylo's. Anyway, Chorus, thank you for the 50 bits. They say that you should always finish your meal. So when is the full review of Star Wars Rebels Season 3 and 4? We're still waiting. Disney's December is too short to cover everything.
I'm probably just going to do a Disney December, because 3 and 4 kind of blend together. And now it's like, I feel like I've been away from it for long enough where I'd have to be like, yeah, what happened again? What, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Season 3, I could just say the Bendu was really cool. Everything else was kind of meh. And then 4, most of it was meh until the very end, where it got, like, maybe the last 3 or 4 episodes where it got super, super interesting. So, I mean, there it is. There's your review. I really don't have too much else to say.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Some of the criticisms I hear from people about Doctor Strange 2 is there were no stakes. I push back on that because there are 2 big ones to me. What Wanda did in the main 616 universe could start mutant hate, and the other is the convergence/secret war with 838 because of the deaths she caused. What do you think?
Sure. I mean, for me, I just thought it was a fun time. I wanted to see Sam Raimi direct a Doctor Strange movie. That's what I got. I really didn't care if the stakes were high or if it connected to the plot or anything. I mean, again, like we've both said, I mean, they're pretty much doing the exact same thing with Wanda again, but I didn't give a shit. I just love seeing her as like this twisted bad guy. So yeah, I had a ball with it.
SPG, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, have been a huge fan of the NC for quite a while. One question, Nostalgia Critic Twilight Month, yes or no?
I'd I'd want to wait till like I don't know, like a 10-year anniversary or something like that, because I feel like I could talk about it because it was such a phenomenon. And I remember all the fears of like what this was going to inspire, particularly with like girls and stuff like that who read this and saw these terrible movies and stuff like that. But I think it would also be interesting to see how far. I mean, all those actors, I think, have really proven themselves eventually to be
Hmm.
really good actors.
Right.
So it would be fun to kind of compare and why was this such a big hit at the time and stuff like that. Because I mean, I don't like the movies. I mean, very clearly, and they're very easy to make fun of. But it'd be fun. Again, everybody's talked about, but it would be interesting to go back after like 10 years, which who knows, maybe that's coming up,
Probably
and
is.
see uh, the impact it had. I don't know. There's always something about when like I don't know when like a rap album is released or something, people it's gonna ruin our kids. Think of the children, or it's usually with music that's done. And then you look back years later, it's like, oh yeah, remember when everyone's like, oh yeah, this is gonna kill our kids, whatever and stuff. So it's interesting looking back at stuff like that. I really do not like that character. I don't think she's a good role model, but I don't know. I don't think it destroyed a whole generation. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I have thoughts about the book too, but that's fine. Alex the animator, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, you remember that scene in Home Alone where Kevin unintentionally steals a toothbrush and never returns it or goes back to pay for it? Did you thought that scene was pointless because it didn't feel right for him to get away with that?
No, but he feels bad. He's like, I'm a criminal. It should be funny if after he, gets the criminals arrested, the two burglars, like if he just goes in with the toothbrush and says, here, return this to the store. That'd be pretty funny, actually.
Doug, by the way, it has been 10 years. First one came out in 2008. Thanks, chat.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
You're old.
Really? 2008?
That kind of makes sense because the second and third books were kind of new-ish when I
Wait.
started
We're talking
teaching.
about the books or the movies?
The movie, right?
The movie came out was it really that long?
Let's see.
Holy shit.
Twilight
Yeah.
movie. 2008. Was the movie. Yep. 2008.
Weird. Okay. Well,
Makes sense because it was still huge when I started teaching. The books and the movie
Man.
were still huge
That's
when I started
great.
teaching.
I'll say this: I didn't know. I saw the book everywhere. I didn't know anything about it, so I went into the movie like open to it. Like I don't know anything about it, and I was pretty surprised how bad it was. I did not know the reputation at all. The only thing I knew is I had a friend who said, "Yeah, I read the first book." I'm like, and he said, "It had a good table of contents."
That's funny. LePew, thank you for the 50 bits. When will Channel Awesome turn into a massive network?
What, we're not already? No. You want to know what's so funny? I mean, first of all, I don't make the business calls. I have a terrible business mind. But on top of that, I'm liking more and more keeping it smaller. I like keeping it to the group of people that we have here. I love the group of people that we have here and I can work with and everything. I mean, it just feels, I don't know. I got to pinch myself every day just to see like what I do for a living, who I work with, and the freedom I have. And I feel like the bigger and bigger you get, and the more and more people, at least when I see other companies and stuff do it, you lose a little bit of that. That's not all saying, well, you should never do it. No, there's lots of companies that can do it and do it very successfully and very well. Just for me personally, I'm a fan of keeping it. It's not even small. I say smaller because we have a fucking studio,
Right.
like in Chicago. Like that's crazy. But yes, I know. Like when I went to Defy, where they had like Smosh and Screen Junkies and stuff. I mean, gigantic building. I mean, just filled with people and stuff like that. So yeah, and that's something where I'm just like, that'd be too stressful for me. I like keeping it smaller and more personal.
Cameron, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, I was just curious. Are you planning on doing anything VeggieTales related for NC?
I didn't grow up with VeggieTales.
I love VeggieTales.
Everybody loves it.
VeggieTales.
No, I know people that are like diehard atheists who love that show. So I'm like, man, it must be doing something right. So, one of these days I'll at least try to sit down and watch an episode. But yeah, I never have.
They're fun. Pat and Soa, thank you for the 50 bits. Sorry again I've missed the video game streams, but how did you like Fallen Order? I think I had too high expectations because it was just a game for me.
Oh, I really liked it. I really got into the a lot of the characters, especially. which is that was your reason why I should get PS5 because the new Fallen Order game coming out.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, and man, I don't want those fucking glitches again, man. Or am I just guaranteeing I'm gonna get glitches if I get it with the PS5 too? Because it'll be so new. I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'm excited to see the sequel to that. I had a good time.
Yeah, I thought it was. I really enjoyed that game. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Will you review the first Mission Impossible movie?
It's a little well. I don't think I could say. Well, and here's a weird thing. I'm finding out more and more. Anytime I talk about Tom Cruise, the videos never do well. Like, nobody watches them, which is weird because he's like this big box office draw, especially now he's doing so many stunts and everything. Nobody ever watches when I talk about a Tom Cruise movie. So I don't know. I don't know if that's his special behind the scenes power taking the views down. I don't know because I do make fun of him. But I like him fine, especially now that like he's become such a spectacle doing like a lot of these stunts and everything. I mean, that really is like he doesn't have to do that. So the fact that he is like really, really impressive. So probably not. I mean, we talked about two. And yeah, that was probably the funniest one. Was two.
Tulip fan, thank you for the 50 bits. I know you don't really give a crap about Pokemon, but what about Digimon? I would recommend checking that out since it's honestly a better show, more focused on character rather than mindless action.
Maybe. I'll say this. I still, because I have like I have a bunch of mixed CDs. Yes, CDs I listen to in the car because I'm fucking 40. And one of the tracks on there is the Digimon theme because I just love it so much. It is so catchy.
Oh, man.
To a digital world. I love it all. I love the little bow. I see. It just gets me going. It actually legit gets me excited. I don't know shit about the show. I just know I love the fuck out of that song.
Well, you do know that Digimon are digital monsters and they are the champions.
To a digital world.
Cypher, thank you for the 100 bits. Skitty, skitty, skitty.
Skitty, skitty, skitty. Indeed.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 200 bits. Okay, Doug, I got a show for you to watch whenever you get a chance. The show is Parenthood 2010, and it has an all-star cast. Mae Whitman, Katara from Avatar, is in it, and she's phenomenal. Out of the entire cast, I love her character Amber and her arc throughout the show.
Yeah, that was 2010, man. Again, just makes me feel so fucking old. My wife watched it and said it was really, really good. I think I've seen like bits and pieces here and there, but not a ton. So I guess just finding time, man. We'll see what we can do.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 50 bits. So, Doug, remember when you were involved on that kid show, the Cartoon Guy show? I recently came across a very similar 90s kid show, also about drawing, called Pappyland, which I think the Cartoon Guy got a lot of inspiration from.
Really? Okay. Because look at that. Okay. Yeah, look, he's got like a big pencil and everything, huh? Oh, that's really cool. All right, I might want to look into that. That's really cool. Yeah, it was so much fun. And that dude sadly passed away. But what an amazing idea he had. I mean, his whole thing was about showing how was educating people about art the way like Sesame Street educates about like numbers and letters and stuff like that. And he was showing how like there's art everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's an artistic way of doing something. And I just love that message. It was just so fucking good. I feel bad it never got off the ground, but yeah, just such a good message.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, did you see the Bob's Burger movie yet? I did, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, not yet. I still gotta check it out. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do like a Untitled review show review for it, but I'm definitely gonna do a Disney December for it because it's Fox. Yeah, and I love Bob's Burgers, so I really want to check it out.
Virtuous Sinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Appreciate that. I first want to say that I love everyone's work at Channel Awesome. I also love the mix of positive and negative reviews that you've been bringing out. Much love. But I think there has to be a question, so I'll give a dumb one. I'm a lover of both horror and romance movies, so is there any good movies that mix the two?
Twilight, clearly. No. Man, well, thank you for the kind words, first of all.
Yeah, appreciate that. You don't necessarily have to have a question either. You could just flatter Doug. He'll be here for the flattery.
I'll take it. I mean, it isn't just the shirt. I'm all turning red. or the wall for that man. Man, really should have worn a red shirt. The more I think about it, your eyes are probably just bleeding right now from all the red that's on
Our
screen.
red background too. It's fine.
Yes.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's true. Your red hair, yeah, it just keeps going. Um, Man, I'm sure there is. I want to say like a gothic horror or something like that. It's like all the ones I'm thinking of. I'm like, yeah, it's a romantic element in there, but it's not really a romantic film. Maybe the show, Haunting a Hill House, I think has. God, wait, does it have romantic elements? I'm forgetting now. I don't know. I have to think about it. It's a really good question, but yeah, I'm not sure. Are anything you can think of, Heather?
I don't really watch horror, so I mean, like something like Nightmare Before Christmas comes to mind. But like, is
Yeah.
that
Does that even
horror?
count? Yeah. Yeah, I have to really think about it. Bride of Chucky.
JT, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey Doug, have you had a chance to check out Peter Jackson's World War I documentary, They Shall Not Grow Old? 100-plus-year-old restored and remastered World War I footage, colorized, recreated sounds and voices, all with World War I veterans telling their stories in voiceover. It's absolutely incredible. I didn't know about that. That sounds
you haven't
right up my alley.
It's so I haven't seen it, but I've seen the trailer. The trailer gives you goosebumps because they do this weird effect. It's Uncanny Valley, but it works because they're taking
2018.
these pictures,
Mhm.
you know, like these World War I pictures, and they're bringing them to life, and they're having actors, and they're kind of superimposing the faces on, you know, these actors and stuff. But it really, for lack of a better way of putting it, it really looks like moving photographs, and that's kind of the idea. So it's one of the few times where the Uncanny Valley really works to the advantage of it, because it's also in war. It's like, you know, in the trenches and stuff like that. It's just a ugly, terrible place to be. So that uncomfortableness like really, really comes through. And I should see the whole movie because I've seen the trailer, I've seen clips, and what I saw was really, really good. So I should sit down and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I wonder where it's streaming on. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. I
I've-
should look that for their streaming too.
World War I is my favorite period of history. It's so fascinating. So
Mm.
I'm sure. Oh, sorry, my computer decided to put something over Doug for a second. I'm sure I'd love that. Pat and Soa, thank you for the 50 bits. More of a question for you, Heather, but maybe Doug. Are you going to play the new God of War when it hits PS5? And what was your thoughts on the last one? Abso-hacking-lutely, and I adored the last one. I had never played a God of War game before the newest one, but I got sucked into that world so hard. I adored that. It was great.
What's the one where you have to kill the giant, like every level is killing like a different giant monster. Like you have to climb up it and kill it and go onto that's not it, right?
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
Okay. It's
Climb a
yeah,
giant monster.
literally you're a little person, there's just a monster walking around slowly, you have to climb up and kill it. It's obviously not that.
Oh, you're thinking of Shadow of the Colossus.
That's it. Okay.
Okay.
For some reason, I always think of God of War, which I'm even like, why? Maybe because I think of something big and gods. It's pretty stupid. Anyway, I have not played it, so I don't know. Heather's answer was much better than mine.
I loved it, so I will definitely be playing the new one when Ragnarok when it comes out for sure. Hewlett fan, thank you for the 125 bits. What is the most surprisingly good movie you've seen to date? A film that seemed like absolute crap, but was shockingly better than you expected it to be. I remember you really liked Disney's The Wild from 2006.
What a random one to name, but yes, actually. And actually, on that note too, the Madagascar movies, I wasn't expecting to like those at all. And it's weird because they're clearly knockoffs of each other. It's another Ants Bugs Life thing where, you know, Katzenberg is like, my idea, no, Disney's like ours, and they both made them. But they're both good and very, very different. So yeah, that's pretty good. It's a good example. Kung Fu Panda, that's another one I had no expectations, and those are surprisingly really good film, like even deep emotional film.
Right, Power Gamer in chat brought up the Lego movie, and I was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I thought the Lego movie was gonna be like, okay, I wasn't gonna see it until all my friends were like, you have to see the Lego movie, and I was like, okay, sure. I guess I'll see the Lego movie.
Yeah, I didn't know it'd be like that smart and like the story would be that clever.
Yeah. Alex the Animator, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, are you still doing those Dark Toons videos? I really want to see you do one of the episode of The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy called Son of Nergal.
You know what's so funny? Every time somebody asks, it's always, "Can you do this Bill and Mandy episode?" I feel bad I never did any of the Bill and Mandy episodes. 'Cause I've never seen the show. If you show me a picture, I recognize it, but I don't know anything about it. And I got so many recommendations for episodes. No, the Steam just ran out on it. I think the only one I was thinking maybe of doing was one called I think it was Peace on Earth. I think. Which is a Christmas one, and I'm like, I remember that. It has an interesting history, but yeah, there's really nothing calling me back to it. I feel like I did, like a good amount, and I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. What are the bullet points of making a great movie trailer that should be the standard?
I think there's only one bullet point. Keep changing, because that's one of the things I love about watching movie trailers is that you'll see a lot of them that do kind of the same thing and do it well, but then you'll have one that just does something totally different and it really, really stands out, like Watchmen or the original Alien. Or you have ones that just do the same thing, like, the trailer to Wolverine, X-Men Origins. It's a really good trailer. I mean, it gets you like hyped up. I mean, the movie shit, but it's like, man, this gets you excited. So, it's not that you can't do the same thing over and over, but if you're looking for like, yeah, what's going to be lasting, those are usually the ones that last, the ones that just do like something totally different. Or a Serious Man. That's another really great trailer if you haven't seen that one.
Cool. Sorry, I was typing something.
Oh, good.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. Once Doug reviews Doctor Strange in the multi-suck of suckiness, I'm going to rip it in half.
Not a fan, I guess. Fair enough.
NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, about some Amphibia episode plots not contributing to the larger story like you just said, I can understand that, but I think the idea is to strengthen the characters' relationships, at least in the first season.
Oh, sure. And that's why they do it in the other shows too. I'm talking about like there's one episode where she just brings out the little box that she opened up and said, "This is what brought me here." And I'm thinking like if something happened in the episode where like maybe she felt like she didn't trust them or she's still opening up to them, and then like something happens where they really, really grow strong together and be like, "Okay, I can tell you this. I trust you enough. Here's the thing." That would make sense. But literally it was just a random episode and suddenly she's like, "This is the box that brought me here." And even then I feel like she would have brought it out a lot earlier too, because she established trust with them a lot earlier. So yeah, that it's not a major problem. It's just something, and honestly part of it could be like the order they show it in. Sometimes they show shows out of order, but yeah, that's the one thing that kind of throws me off a bit. I do wish there was a few more adult jokes too, but I mean it really is fine.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, have you seen the Bob's Burgers movie yet? And if so, what are your thoughts, and will you do an untitled review show of it?
I literally just answered this. Probably not an untitled review show, because I am moving some stuff around with like the different schedule change here and stuff. But I'll definitely do a Disney December of it, and I'm hoping to see it this weekend if I have time.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. I'm so happy Johnny Depp has officially won the suit against Amber Heard.
I'm just happy it's over because I didn't follow any of it, and I was so sick of hearing people talk about it. I knew two things. I knew about the shitting in the bed, and I saw the clip of the lawyer objecting to his own question. That was very, very funny. I didn't know or care about anything else, so I have no thoughts about whatsoever. I hope justice was done. That's the most I can hope for.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. Idea, when you review Jurassic World Dominion, have Rob go, "I'm a dinosaur," when the title appears.
Maybe. Actually, that'd be a great title to a Jurassic World, "I'm a dinosaur." I don't know, I'd see that.
Matt Hanna, thank you for the 50 bits. Now that you mention it, seeing Pinocchio and Jiminy being scared shitless is pretty interesting.
No, the donkey scene, man. That's what I want to see, like, what the fuck they're going to do with that. Man, just weird CG donkey transformation. Like, that's going to be weird.
Oh, man. God.
And Robert Zemeckis is doing it, that weird, awkward Polar Express animated. I'm like, oh, I'm actually kind of looking more and more forward to
Oh,
this.
no. Oh, God. I can already see it, but also it's unseeable.
Right?
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. Will you ever review the film known as Hot to Trot?
You know, Brad Jones. I wanted to see that movie so bad when I was a kid. And that's back when PG meant something. So it was PG and my mom wouldn't let me see it. And finally, my dad snuck it for me. He said, "Here, you can watch it." I ain't going to watch it. It looks stupid to me. I put it on. He was right. It's really stupid.
Pattinsoa, thank you for the 50 bits. Coming from a SoCal boy, I have many friends who spend over $1,000 a year for Disney season passes and go for like an hour every other day. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a serious cuckoo cola cult vibe from them now. I think they are solely responsible for these horrible live action remakes, and I apologize for them.
And that is a Disney property too, the Cuckoo Cola Cult. So maybe you're a part of it too. Um,
Woohoo!
it's fine. I mean, I've gone to Disney a couple times. Me and my wife, we love it. We don't have kids. We don't go with family members. We just go on our own. We like the imagination to it, and people make jokes all the time about it, and it's really fine because we make jokes about it too. So anytime we hear that stuff, we're like, no, that's fair. We still love it.
Yeah, I'm going in October to Disney World, and I'm really excited because it's gonna be
That's
my
cool.
whole family. Like my
When's
brother,
when's the last time you were there?
in 2017, I think. Lucas and
Oh,
I went
okay.
for our 1 year anniversary because he had never been to Disney World before.
Yeah, I think we were somewhere around there too, like 2015 or something. And so much has been added since then. So I'm
Right.
really excited to
I'm
check it out.
so pumped to go to Galaxy's Edge. I'm very excited.
See, to me, even though I don't like the movie, the Avatar world is where I'm just like that just looks mind blowing to me. Like I can't wait to check that. I don't have any plans to go. Yeah, we didn't plan anything, but I'm just like, oh, when I go, that's like one of the first places I'm going.
Yeah, I've said I'm lucky that I've been to Disney World in almost every major stage of my life. Like, we don't go a ton, but like I went when I was 5 and it was magical. I went when I was 12 and I went again when I was like 18 and then like 29, and now I'm going again with my nieces and nephews too. So I get to actually take like a 6-year-old around with me.
And that is the thing, because we do know people with kids, and we are looking like when we go with like I said, some of the nieces and nephews and stuff like that. Like that will be nice, especially because they're not our kids. So if
Yep.
they get bratty, it's like, well, you can just go calm her down over there. We're gonna ride, the cars ride or something like that.
Yep. The adults are gonna sit in the cantina for an hour. Bye, guys. Hewlett fan, thank you for the 50 bits. Who do you think is right in this Depp Heard debacle? I feel sorry for both of them, really. Yeah, honestly, like Doug said, I didn't really pay attention to it because it's just weird to me how much people are making, I don't know, fan cams about an ongoing like domestic abuse trial. So
I mean,
like,
either way, there's either real abuse going on or someone lying about abuse. Both should be treated very seriously.
yes.
Which I will say, if you are gonna do jokes, you better make sure they're really funny and clever. But I'm just like, it is like, I get it, because you do want it to be taken seriously when somebody. I don't know, if somebody says something, you don't want them to be like, oh, that's another Amber Heard. Ho, ho, ho. It's like, no, that could be like a totally legit thing, and you want it to be taken seriously. And on top of that, I just really had no interest. I just always hope that the proper thing was done. Whatever was really going on, that justice was served. That's all I can hope. But I don't know these people. I have no interest in them outside of their acting. And even then, I haven't been interested in any of their movies. So I'm like, I just didn't care.
Whoever was in the courtroom hopefully did their job.
Yes.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. What did you guys get to see in real life that you only saw in movies made you glad to witness? Hold on, let me try to read this again. What did you guys get to see in real life that you only saw in movies made you glad to witness? For me, I'm impressed whenever I see a car made in the 50s being driven, and a few years ago while I was in Cancun, I saw a fully functional pirate ship.
This is the first one that popped in my head, and it's probably not what you're thinking about, but it's the first one that popped in there, and nobody was hurt in this, but we saw a car accident happen right in front of us, and literally just missed our car, and the car, like, it was trying to run a red light, hit the car, and literally like spun like several times right in front of us, and landed like, in a grocery store and stuff like that. And it took me a minute to register that happened, because it looked just like an action movie, like a Fast and Furious movie or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So and my girlfriend at the time was driving, so I said, "Okay, call 911." I got out and I helped them both out of the car. Uh, they were both fine. Just shook it up. The other guy, the guy that went through the flip, just got out. He got out of the window because he couldn't get out of the car, and he just said, "My dad's gonna kill me." So he was fine. Yeah, and the other guy, got out with no injuries or anything. But yeah, that's one of those where I'm like, I just saw a movie. Like that was surreal. Like it actually took me a minute to register this car just flipped in front of me.
On a more positive note, I
Yeah,
feel like
sorry.
I had no, that's cool. I mean, hey, at least no one was hurt, and
No.
that's a wild story. I feel like I had a lot of those moments living in Japan where I'd be like, I'd only ever seen this in anime, but here it is in real life. It's a thing, you know? So I feel like I had a lot of those random experiences in Japan. WWE, thank you for the 50 bits. Good evening, guys. Hey, Doug, for commercials this year, could you do the Super Bowl movie commercials, i.e., the Mountain Dew / Gremlins, Groundhog Day / Jeep, Ferris Bueller / CRV, Home Alone / Google Assistant?
Well, the Google one was fun. All the others did. They weren't bad, but they didn't do much for me. I honestly forgot about them until you brought them up. So I don't think I'd be able to say much about them. So probably not, but we'll see.
I just like what Godzilla fan has to say about your last story here, Doug. Was that kid fine, or did his dad probably kill him?
You survived that car crash. You're not going to survive me.
Oh, no. Anu, thank you for the 80 bits. I'm sure you're with me on this one, Heather, but since we got a horror version of Winnie the Pooh, when will we get a mecha movie with Winnie the Pooh, either as a pilot or the mech itself? That'd be great. Piglet
Giant yellow
is...
bear. Yeah, Piglet. Oh, Tigger, he hops. Like just this giant spring that hops up and down. I'm loving this.
It's great.
And their base is Eeyore because it never moves. Owl flies. Yeah, okay, I'm digging this. Kanga has like another smaller robot inside her. I love this. This is a great idea.
Great, let's just keep going now. I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, will you ever review Problem Child 2?
Maybe, because a lot of people did like the first review. I'm still on the fence about whether or not, because I'm technically in Rotten Tomatoes, should I be the one critic that gives it a fresh, because it's at 0% right now. And I'm always like, I like it being at 0, because it's like that. I feel like that's a funny movie to be at 0. But on the one hand, I would love if there's just that 1% and everyone's like, who's the son of a bitch who did that? And it's me. So I go, because I haven't put my review on there yet. I always go back and forth whether or not I should. I probably should. I think that'd be funny.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 50 bits. Do you agree with the consensus that we live in the most creatively bankrupt era for animation? So many damn reboots and sequels. Not necessarily.
Yes and no. I think for original content, something that is not based on something else, yes. And you can say that really about movies in general or a lot of media. But I think the way they are working within that and sort of constructing new stories and new characters and different ways to look at the characters and stories, I think it's pretty damn creative. How many Spider-Man movies do we have? Tons. But you look at No Way Home and Spider-Verse. That is a totally new, fresh, interesting take on characters that we're familiar with. So it's half and half. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see more new material, but I think a lot of people are working within the restraints of having to do something that already exists pretty creatively.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this before too, that where we're seeing more creativity and growth is in TV shows rather than like
or even independent movies.
Yeah.
As well, yeah.
Because streaming
like
services...
anyone can make a movie now, yeah.
Exactly. Streaming services really allow for that. Like, I don't know if something like Arcane could have happened before it happened now, but I'm so damn glad it did happen now, and it's very original and very great, but it is also based on another property.
Game, yeah.
It's based off League of Legends. So, like, yeah, people are working creatively within that, and I think the biggest growth, though, is seen in television shows, though, or these streaming limited events or whatever you want to call them.
Also, and part of the reason that people do base stuff on something that already exists is because yes, there's an existing fan base already for it, but there is so much content. There's so many ways you can see content, and anyone can make content. I mean, this is probably the most content you can ever digest in a time period now. I mean, I'll definitely say that. So I think people have to kind of try harder for something to stand out. And if you have something already has an audience, that's already a plus one. You have a leg up on the game, kind of thing. So I think that's why it's done particularly so much right now.
Mm-hmm. Bowser Rules, thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Welcome
Thank
on
you.
in, guys. Appreciate that. NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, would you ever review Cats and Dogs 2 since you reviewed the first one? I think you get some good jokes out of that movie.
Maybe. Sequels don't usually do that well for us unless we do like a theme month. So maybe we'll do another sequel month. Who knows?
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. You know what's the cutest thing about Heather? She actually thinks Uncharted was a good movie. That's adorable, Heather.
There's a growing fan base for it. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that sort of come out and say, "I kind of liked it." And if you like it, you like it.
Right. It wasn't awful. It also wasn't amazing, but I had fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's fair.
A fun popcorn flick. Your Extra Joe, thank you for the 50 bits. With how often questions are repeated in this Q&As, I'd love if you gave wildly different answers each time you heard the same question. Lol.
Yeah, but then I feel bad for the person that asked. You know what I mean? Like, what if they didn't hear the first part? They had to rewind and find, the part in the video where I said it. It's like, I'm being considerate. That would be funny.
Right, well, and part of it, too, is that sometimes people don't always read the sarcasm, so if we, the next
That's
time
true, too.
answered just very sarcastically the opposite, people may not be able to read the sarcasm or take it out of context and...
Whenever I do a text or an email and I make a joke, I always put like a million LOLs around it because I'm just like, it's a joke, I'm always afraid people are going to take it too seriously.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, and yesterday I went to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I didn't like it. Just kidding, I loved it. There were so many, they wrote it in silence, so I tried to let the silence breathe. There were so many moments I went, holy shit, and then there was, and then go, that was so awesome. I want to see it again with my dad because I think he would like it because we're both nerds, lol.
One of the, every once in a while I'll look up sort of like nerd shirts that are released, and somebody did I can't remember the name of the little stand that Bruce Campbell has in that, but they did like a Little Caesars and they put his name on there, eating the little like Papa's Poppers or whatever it's called. Okay. I was so close to getting that shirt because I'm like, all right, that's pretty good.
DK, thank you for the 50 bits. Heather, I hope you're feeling better. Heard you were feeling not well. Hi, Doug.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm doing better, still on the mend. Trying to get rid of this COVID. This
cold vid.
The best that I can. Trying to take it easy. NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, until the Guardians of Ga'Hoole review releases, can you just give us a general overall thoughts to hold me over?
I did like it, even though all the criticisms against it are correct. I did really like the animation, and I liked that world. I really felt like I could breathe in this world and had an identity and an atmosphere to it. And some of the voice acting was pretty good. So I did enjoy it. But anytime someone's like, but it's so generic and cliched and things weren't fleshed out, it's like, they're right. But the stuff that worked in it was the stuff I really like. Enough for me to say, yeah, go see it.
The Master of Steve, thank you for the 100 bits. If Doug ever reviews Aquaman, then most of his jokes are already written.
Well, I mean, how much is it? And again, remember, I didn't watch the trial. They would all just be shit in bed jokes.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Remember when DC made a comic crossover with Fortnite? Do you expect them to do the same thing with Multiverse's game? I mean, that'd be cool.
I mean,
that'd work.
Is that game out yet? Or no, they have like the...
So I did the closed alpha. Right? And the closed alpha is done now.
So when's the official game come out?
The open beta starts in July, I believe. June or July.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to play it. There was one, somebody did an edit that says like Angry Video Game Nerd joins Multiverse, and it has him just going Bugs Bunny and like punching him, and then it cuts to the clip in the trailer of Bugs Bunny getting punched. finished. I was like, that was pretty good. It's good at it.
That's fun. I like that. I know, guys. Thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, the person that Jennifer Connelly plays in Top Gun Maverick, I think she was the Admiral's daughter referred to in the first film.
I had trouble putting together who she was. I mean, I know she's not the girlfriend from the first movie, obviously a different actress and everything. But yeah, I haven't seen the first movie since like I was a teen. I didn't rewatch it before seeing the second one, so you might be right.
Pat and Silva, thank you for the 50 bits. Is there a band that you would love to be able to interview yourself? Mine would be AC/DC.
Man, almost any band would be interesting, honestly, because I'm sure there's just so many stories and how did they make it? Even bands that don't make it must have so many stories. I mean, just the ones that grew up, like I love Metallica, Rob Zombie, it would be pretty cool. Even just the band White Zombie. Smashing Pumpkins, I still have a little bit of a soft spot for it. And I've seen them in interviews and they're all really interesting. So, yeah, I'd be down for any of that.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 75 bits, as if almost on theme. Are you a rock fan at all, Doug? Like hard rock from the early 90s, bands like Extreme Skid Row and Mr. Big? They're all brilliant in my eyes. Listen to Be With You by Mr. Big especially.
Yeah, but the sad thing is whenever I say that, everyone's like, oh, what are your thoughts on like, Def Leppard and Megadeth and stuff like that? I got into it a little late and I got into just the really, really big ones, like the ones I said, Metallica, with Slipknot, obviously, Rob Zombie and stuff like that, Rammstein. And I love them, and I've heard stuff by obviously like Def Leppard and Black Sabbath, all that stuff, but I forget which ones they did. So it's always something where they're like, "Are you a fan?" I'm like, "Yes." What's your favorite song? One of those. I just forget which one did which. You know what I mean? But I never remember hearing any of the bands and being like, "Oh, I can't stand that one or that song." You know what I mean? Like they were all great. So yes, but I'm by no means an expert on it, and I really don't know many of like the underground bands at that time, or now for that matter.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. What game company / publisher would you want to own? Not because they necessarily make you tons of money, but because you believe in their work. I would love to, like we said earlier, Valve. Maybe I could get them to actually do a 3. Actually finish a trilogy for once, because their games are brilliant. I would love to see Portal 3 and Half-Life 3 and
because I grew up with it, Nintendo, and I just make it where you can do cross platforms because I'm sick of that shit. But yeah, I mean, all the classic characters I feel like are some of the earliest best known characters are from Nintendo. So yeah, I got a soft spot for that.
I also might want to put my hands in Respawn, because I really like what they did with like Titanfall and Jedi Fallen Order and stuff, so that'd be fun. Alex loves musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. Rachel Zegler, Maria from the new West Side Story, was just cast as a lead role in the Hunger Games prequel adaptation, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I hope that movie will be good. Love the Hunger Games books and movies.
Man, that'd be a series to talk about at some point too, because that was another one that just sort of like ruled the earth for a little bit of time, and to a point where I kind of just forgot about it. I'm like, oh yeah, Hunger Games prequel. I didn't even think of that, like, because I just haven't heard of anything Hunger Games for so long. Yeah, be interesting to see how it goes.
I gotta read the book. I never read the book, so I really gotta read that book. The prequel, that is. I read all the Hunger Games books, please. The Masters of Steve, thank you for the 100 bits. For this Disney-cember, will you review other Lucasfilm franchises that Disney owns, like Indiana Jones and Willow?
That's a little bit of a stretch, but I already got the theme for this, or the additional thing I'm adding for this year, so maybe the next year? I think I do have the Ewok movies on the list, so I might talk about those.
I know, guys, thank you for the 50 bits. Will you ever review Rock of Ages? Not gonna lie, Tom Cruise is the best part of that movie and can actually sing.
Excuse me again. Yeah, I've got requests for that for a while, but that's another one because it's a musical, and anything, what they hit even more than movies is songs. And so musicals are pretty tricky to do. Actually, even the clip, the little 9 seconds that they got and said, oh, you can't strike on the channel. It's a scene that has a song in it. So
Mm.
yeah, that's like death, man. If honestly, I'm just thinking more and more, yeah, I think I gotta just never do musicals again because it does always seem to be music. In No Way Home, we got hit for that too. We're allowed to play it, but we're not making any money on it. And again, it's for a bit of music. So what can you do? So probably not, but I should see the movie.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 50 bits. Fun fact, the term cowboy came from the fact the gang the Earps and Holiday had to deal with were ranchers. Interesting.
All right. I did years ago. I read a history on Wyatt Earp, and it wasn't the biography. I mean, it was one that was written more recently, and I do remember hearing all that stuff because the info is so fascinating. In the movie, they say cowboys, and there's already so much history. I knew I couldn't squeeze into that, so I just kept it short and tight.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Is there a TV series that does exposition correctly, in your opinion, without feeling shoehorned in or hassled? Or half-assed, sorry.
Man, not Kenobi. Like one of the first scenes, the Inquisitors come up. Do you know who I am? You are an Inquisitor. Do you know what we do? You look for Jedi. I'm looking for Jedi here, and I'm just like, this is terrible. But yeah, I'm trying to. I'm sure there are. I mean, a lot of times I don't think there's. A lot of people say, "Oh, you can't just have a scene where someone sits down and says what happens," and I'm like, "Why not? If you make it interesting, you don't have to just slip it into the conversation, especially if it's something where a character's looking for something or going on a quest." Or in Better Call Saul, we're watching that. And a lot of times the lawyer has to explain what legally he or she can or can't do, and I'm like, that works fine because the person's not gonna know, and the audience isn't gonna know. So yeah, as long as you do it in a way that feels organic and natural, I'm really not against someone just literally saying exposition if it helps, in the scene, if it makes sense.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. I highly recommend Digimon Ghost Game, mostly because it's so dark, it need a spot on your wall. It's so dark that there's death people in it.
Is it a game or a
There is a
show?
game. There's a game too.
Okay. Maybe I'll check it out. I should probably see the first one first, though.
NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, even though you said you like but you don't love E.T. the Extraterrestrial, I would still watch an NC review, maybe since this year is the 40th anniversary?
I mean, first of all, I think he'll do like my Tom Cruise reviews. I don't think anyone would watch it. Because again, there's definitely a crowd for it, but it's one of those, it's so big and everybody knows it. They almost feel like they don't need to watch it, if that makes sense. Like it's such a popular icon. Also, yeah, I just don't have that big a passion for it. That is good. I'm not at all gonna say it's a bad movie. But I just never had that big a passion watching it, even though it's all done very well, and you can talk about how good the acting is and the darker moments and stuff. But yeah, for whatever reason, it never quite grabbed me.
Pat and Soa, thank you for the 50 bits. Me and my best friend of 28 years grew up with both Pokemon and Digimon, and there is one VHS copy of both first movies, and we still continue to borrow them from each other. Always said Pokemon is more fun to play, Digimon was better to watch. That's a good way to put it.
That's cool that you trade the VHS too. Man, just finding a working VCR, man, can be tricky nowadays.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. Not a fan of the Disney live action remakes, but I have a tiny bit of hope for Snow White since Greta Gerwig is writing the script and I like Rachel Zegler. Also, Alan Menken and Lin-Manuel Miranda worked on the music for The Little Mermaid. I wonder if they'll pull songs from the Little Mermaid Broadway musical.
They're probably gonna want new songs, but who knows? No, they probably want to do something different because then they'll be like, well, you got to see the Broadway musical to get that experience, that version and stuff. So, yeah, we'll have to see.
Pat and Soa, thank you for the 50 bits. Was there ever a movie you were dragged to that you actually ended up liking? For me, it was Slumdog Millionaire. Saw it on a first date, and the lovely lady had to see it, and I actually really liked it.
Man, yeah, I'm sure there is. I can't think of it. because I'm usually pretty good at calling out if there's a movie I do or don't want to see. And, most of the time I'm right, but sometimes I'm surprised. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, seriously, there are not enough reviews for Wolfwalkers. At least for the most popular YouTube critics like Jeremy Johns or Chris Stuckman. Not enough people know it exists. Would love for NC to do it.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'd be able to add to it or any of the movies from that studio. If I ever did something, I think I would just talk about the studio like as a whole and talk about all those movies. That might be interesting. But
Yeah.
again, I mean, because of the algorithm and stuff like that, I mean, we do have sponsors and stuff like we do need those clicks as well. We're not quite at a point where it's like, well, we could just spit and that would get like 1 million views or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Like I don't know, like a little editorial about the studio might be interesting because I can talk about that art style and those characters. I think for a full video, so maybe that.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Love the Tombstone review. I used to watch Bonanza with my grandfather as a kid. It's because of him that I have an appreciation for Westerns. That's why I'm a little more forgiving of Wild Wild West. Is there any other Western movies that you would like to review someday?
Hmm. I don't think it'd be a short review because I think I could get the point across pretty fast. But I always have a soft spot for Unforgiven. I think that's a very powerful, good. It's one of the few movies where it won like Best Picture, won all these awards, all the critics loved it and everything. And I had an idea of what I was gonna get, but I still wanted to be surprised. And that's one of the few movies where I went in, I'm like, that gave me exactly what I was looking for. Like that was the type of powerful Western I was really hoping was gonna like kind of leave an imprint on my mind, and it did. So yeah, so I feel like I could talk about that, but I don't know how funny I could make it.
Darth Loman, thank you for the 50 bits. Here's a cool Disney game to try out at some point, Tron 2.0, a Tron FPS and the original Tron sequel from the developers of the Fear and Shadow of Mordor games.
Hmm.
That's
Right.
interesting.
Might check that out.
Huh. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, if you're planning to review a Quentin Tarantino movie, I personally suggest Kill Bill. I think it would be hilarious if you have the NC crew cameo their feet. I mean, it's a Tarantino movie. Talkative Carl, I don't want my feet on the internet. I understand what you're going
they're
for.
already on there. Just even though we never shot it, just they're on there. There was a great. I'm catching up on Robot Chicken. There's a really great. It's the scene from Pulp Fiction where they're trying to bring back Uma Thurman, and it's just this giant foot, and I'm like, huh? It says we'll be back to Quentin Tarantino's remake of Pulp Fiction. I'm like, oh, that's so good. And I like Kill Bill. That's another one where I don't think I could say a ton because I like martial arts movies, but I don't feel like I appreciate them enough to really go into like all the different layers that works on because I know that's such a love letter to martial arts movies. Yeah, I don't know what Quentin Tarantino movie I would do if I was to review one that I could like really talk a lot about and also make funny. Maybe I feel like it wouldn't be my place, but I mean maybe Django Unchained because I feel like that is such a good movie, and it's a toss up between that and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's like my personal favorite. But I feel like with DiCaprio in there, just hamming it up so much, you could get some good laughs out of that. But it gets pretty damn serious too, and hard to get some laughs out of it.
NZ Multiverse, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, with no spoilers, in a certain Amphibia episode where two certain characters say they're not together but end up liking each other, I laughed thinking of you joking about that cliche in the Pixels 2015 review.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm watching that thinking, I mean, I guess it's cool they're keeping them friends, but I don't know. They'd be kind of cute, whatever. And then at the end, he's like, yeah, I still like her. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because I actually did kind of ship that a little bit.
Manga King, thank you for the 100 bits. If you ever do a third sequel month, how about making it Disney sequel month, where you can tear into films like Lady and the Tramp 2, Return to Neverland, and Hunchback of Notre Dame 2?
You want to know what's so weird? Heather, I wonder if you have the same thought. I liked Return to Neverland. Did you ever see that one?
I don't think I did.
I thought it was okay. Like, it's nothing great, but, it has its problems. But I was like, I don't know. I think this is actually kind of charming, and like I think it takes place during World War One. Also,
Okay.
wait, it was World War One or World War Two? Shit, I'm forgetting. I
Well, what
think
year does it
was.
take place?
I don't remember.
Great.
I mean, it's shortly after the first. I mean, maybe like 10 years after the first movie, whenever that took place. So again, I'm just like, so World War One or World War Two? I think it's World War One, but I like it because the daughter, I mean, it's in the middle of like the bombings and stuff. So I think that's two, right? The London bombings and stuff.
World War II. Yes.
Yeah, so World War II. Okay. And so she kind of has to grow up a little bit. She has to look after the younger brother, and the father's drafted and stuff. And so like her childhood's taken away. So Peter Pan comes out. I'm like, this is a great setup. This is like a really interesting, dramatic setup. And I thought they did it okay. I don't know. It's one of the few Disney animated sequels where I'm like, I don't know. I thought that was fine.
The chat is just making sure you know it's World War II.
Second one. Since I even said the London bombings, I'm like, the fuck, it's World War II.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 50 bits. I'm waiting for Horror the Pooh, so my question is, what Disney property would you reboot into a horror movie?
Man, that's a good question. I like to see Inside Out, but with like Jason. They're just all like serial killers, like kill her, kill that one, kill that guy, kill that. Like that'd be fun talking about. Use the axe, no, use the machete, no, use the like. That'd be fun to see.
That's interesting. Kurt Wazowski, it's World War VII, Doug. God.
Of course, the V and the two eyes, got it.
The V and the two eyes, yes. I don't know what. I mean, Beauty and the Beast, you could go pretty dark with, like the Beast just mauling people.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Bowser Rules, thank you for the 50 bits. Yo! Hope all of you are well. And question for y'all, did y'all watch the Chip and Dale movie yet? And if so, what did you think?
Yeah, I did a whole review on it. You can see my opinion there. Heather, you're the bigger Rescue Rangers fan, so give your thoughts.
I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, it was a little strange, but I don't know. I didn't expect it to be the most profound movie ever, and it's a little strange, and they rely a lot on, like, references and pop culture and whatever. I think in, like, 15 years, the movie is not gonna stand the test of time, like, ugly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
Like, there's certain pop culture references that, I don't know, like, I could show it to, like, even my nieces and nephews would be like, I don't understand what's happening at all, like, so it was very specifically made for people like my age who grew up with Rescue Rangers, who knew all these references and whatever. But it was still fun. It's a good time. It's not profound, but it's a good time.
Yeah, I didn't love it, but I did like it.
My brain read it as Manga King at first, but I think it's Magna King.
Magna?
Dyslexia.
Oh, you're okay.
M-A-G, not M-A-N.
Ah.
Thank you for the 100 bits. I hope to see you at Grand Rapids Comic-Con this November. I saw you last year and gave you a box of movies. I hope you liked them. I have more to give you at the next one.
Oh, nice. You're just doing a garage sale with us. Yeah, no, I look forward to that. Yeah, I think we're this November.
I've got it on my calendar.
Yeah, so we are.
Matt Hanna, thank you for the 50 bits. 2D, 3D, stop motion, and puppetry all together would make an interesting movie series since Chip and Dale.
Yeah, and I feel like it's been a movie series that's tried that. Maybe not. I'm watching Gumball right now, which is still fucking great. And they use all those different styles in there. It's like I guess there's not a franchise that does that. I'm sure there's a movie or two that has, but not a franchise. So yeah, that would be kind of fun.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 50 bits. I want to see Muppet fights IRL.
Hell yeah. Well, no, it'd just be like people holding the puppets and then just the puppeteers under like punching each other and get a knife trying to stab each other.
Elmo starts with his current voice and then ends in his original voice. Because if you have never seen Elmo's original voice, it's wild. He's like, before he got the Elmo loves you voice.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. He did have like a lower voice when they first started with him.
Yeah, he had a different puppeteer and a different voice. Yeah. Steam Lord, thank you for the 100 bits. Thinking of buying a cameo from Doug to use in a video I'm working on. Should I do that?
I try not to do them for like to put on videos, but I'm sure people have. So it's going to a good cause, just don't have me say anything that people be like, aha, he said this, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Pat and Soa, thank you for the 50 bits. So Amazon is going to make a God of War show. Heather, I blame you for saying the Uncharted movie was fine. As Fozzie would say, shame on you.
They got to do like Fonzie, shame on you.
They're going to keep making these series no matter what I say. I'm not, again, I have said this in the past. I am not totally unsold on the idea of TV shows for these long stories. I'm very curious to see how The Last of Us show is going to turn out. And that may be like an indicator how the rest of some of these Sony property shows may go.
Well, and again, I mean, you think of like Arcane and Castlevania and stuff. I mean, it's like there's been a lot of good, pardon the term, game shows out there. So yeah, I mean, and I don't know anything about God of War though. So.
Could work in a longer format. Although, as I've also said, sometimes they're in their perfect media, just leave it the fuck alone. So
I don't know how everyone's like, Last of Us is so a movie. I'm like, yeah, that's the I don't see that working as a show. I don't know. Yeah. I think it's so perfect as a game. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll add some new stuff to it that'll really juice it up.
Yeah, or even like, I think I said this at the panel we had at the last convention, like, if you're going to do a Last of Us series, don't just retell Joel and Ellie's story again. We've already experienced that. If you want to experience that, play the game. But there's other stories you can tell in that universe that would be super interesting, because that universe that they built is super interesting. So I'd rather see that than Joel and Ellie's story retold again, but we'll see what happens.
Me too.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, your car crash story reminded me of an accident I witnessed. 2 cars crashed near my house and the noise mimicked the exact sound from the Transformers movie. Probably the only thing Michael Bay ever got right.
Yeah, I don't, it's weird. Some sounds like you hear in movies, but then when you hear it in real life, it's like, wow, that's a lot crisper and sharper than I thought it'd be. Yeah, I mean, so it's interesting. Like maybe when you saw the Transformer movies, they have really good sound system.
TDI Charlie Brown, thank you for the 50 bits. I try to avoid doing requests, but I have to know. Would you ever consider ripping apart Drawn Together? That show to me is what Garbage Pail Kids is to you. I hate it.
I didn't hate it. I actually thought there was a lot of funny stuff on it. It was super hit and miss. And it is one of those shows where I always say I'm a fan of shock humor, but it's because it's very difficult to do correctly. I should say correctly, in a funny way. And that loved it shock humor. And again, sometimes it works. Sometimes it's like, oh man, that's just stupid. It's just like, oh, you feel kind of dirty listening to it. But there's a good half of the jokes I thought were super, super clever. So I guess I get the hate, but yeah, I don't think I would review it because I think I like it too much.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Here's an idea for Devil Boner. He is the Krampus to Santa Christ, and he is a boner of the devil, as in a failed demon soldier from the devil's army.
Kind of a fallen angel thing, too. All right. Literally fallen. Yeah, that might be an idea. Yeah.
Pat and Soa, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, have you gotten a chance to watch the 2-part George Carlin documentary on HBO Max? It was truly awesome to see so much old and behind-the-scene footage of him. He truly is my icon in so many categories.
I love George Carlin. No, I have not had a chance to see that yet. It's one of those where I feel like, I mean, I should watch it. It's kind of like seeing that Mr. Rogers documentary. Like, I already knew so much about him, and I have friends that I already knew so much that I'm always like, it's worth seeing if you know a lot about him. They're like, nah, like it's all the stuff, But I haven't heard that about the George Carlin documentary, especially with it being 2 parts. So I should give it a chance, I think. And it does look very good.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 200 bits. Appreciate that. Okay, I was gone for a bit. Internet was acting weird. So, will you review Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and its sequel? I've only seen the first. I thought it was meh. I loved the book. The illustrations are amazing.
I love the book too. I remember reading that when I was a little kid. I just loved the idea, and the drawings were like, they just felt so real. That giant pancake on top of the school was just phenomenal. I never have seen the movie. I heard the movie's okay. maybe I will because I think enough time has passed and it has enough of a following where I could probably say something interesting about it. So maybe actually I might even add that to the list.
Cameron, thank you for the 50 bits. Hello, Channel Awesome. Glad you're feeling a little better. Heather, I have a kind of a boring question. Favorite Ben and Jerry's ice cream?
Uh, man, trying to think. You want to know what's so funny? Like I've had them. They're good. I I don't remember them that much.
I rarely get like a branded like Ben and Jerry that I don't even know like their because I know their flavor names are weird. But I like a
Yeah,
good like cookie dough. If they have a good cookie dough, I like a good like dark forest cherry or black forest cherry.
I remember the Colbert one, Americone. I like because it was chocolate covered waffle cone. I thought that's a good idea, and it's good in ice cream. So it's like I guess I'll say that. Also, the name's fun.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 50 bits. Will you review Obi-Wan for Disney Semper?
If it's a limited series, like if this is it, they're not doing any more after that. Yeah. Screw it. Maybe I will, even if it's not. Because again, I have thoughts.
He has thoughts. Tulip fan, thank you for the 50 bits. What are your favorite creature designs in movies? A design of a creature, monster, or being that made you step back and go, whoa, that's scary. Look up the monsters from Berserk on Google Images. They are terrifying.
All right. Honestly, the original H.R. Geiger, however you say it, Alien is ingenious. I mean, just no eyes at all. They can kind of blend into the ship, and it's just the teeth. That's a great idea. I just saw the movie Antlers, and when you finally see this beast, it's not a bad design. But one of the things they have, without giving away too much of how it works, the remains of a human face is over the original face. And I love that. That was a good, creepy, like, whoa, that's like gross and scary, but it's really creative as well. But then, like, as soon as it's about to eat or fight someone, like, it takes the face off. I'm like, oh, no, you should have kept that. That was the best part.
I really like some of the creature and monster designs from the Hellboy movie too.
The second one,
Yeah.
especially, that was the Troll Marketplace. Those were amazing creatures. Yeah.
Del Toro did a great job with those. Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Digimon Ghost Game is a series that not based of games or earlier series besides the Digimon themselves, and another dark scene, a female Digimon strips herself to death because of a boy.
What? Like she's an artichoke? She just until there's nothing left?
I don't know.
Weird. All right. Yeah, I think it's finding time to watch/play it. But I will do my best.
Cameron, thank you for the 50 bits. Did you see the Pinocchio trailer, and what were your thoughts?
Actually, this is why sometimes it's good they ask it again. I'm getting more excited thinking about the weird, creepy shit with
The
like
more
the
we talk
donkeys
about
and
it.
Yeah, the more I'm thinking that it's Robert Zemeckis doing weird CG dark stuff with like kids turning into donkeys and the weird theme parks. I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of growing on me more and more because even if it's bad, it'll be entertainingly bad. It'll probably be awkward and scary, and I'm kind of looking forward to it now.
Okay, all right, sure. JT, thank you for the 50 bits. If we're talking live action Disney remakes, I don't think even Disney has the nerve to remake Pocahontas, nor should they. With today's culture being what it is, yeah, they'd be eaten alive.
I didn't even like the original movie, so it'd be cool. They won't do it, but what'd be really cool is if they actually did like a historically accurate telling of Pocahontas. It's not like Disney's Pocahontas, like where she's grown up or whatever. Actually tell what we know of the story, because I guess it is kind of vague what we know exactly. But I mean, like that she was a kid, she came to America, she grew up. I mean, like what we do know is interesting and would be a really interesting story, but it doesn't match the Disney formula.
It definitely does not.
No, but like I mean, I don't know. I'm always like, if you're gonna be like, let's do a Pirates of the Caribbean PG-13, like tentacles can go inside a person's mouth and come out their nose and licking brains and stuff. Why don't you do something really adult and tell like a true story like that? I think that'd be like, that's the next step I think they're missing. Like telling a true, like really adult story that does go into some stuff that Disney doesn't, but it's like, yeah, part of life, and maybe you can still find the happy outlook at the end. But it's like, yeah, there's some tough shit, you know?
Yeah. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, if you were to do a masterclass on reviewing movies, what subjects would be in the syllabus?
Oh fuck. It's tricky because I mean, my standpoint is have an interesting point of view. Try to point out something that everyone else hasn't already pointed out, or if you're gonna point it out in an interesting way, or a passionate way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I mean, I guess you can teach a class on that, but I don't know how you would. You know what? I would find a movie that would be very difficult to review, maybe, you know, something like an Eraserhead, or uh you know, like a Where the Wild Things Are, or something like that, where, you know, a lot of people watch, or even something that seems really silly, like Lego Movie or something like that. I know we brought it up a lot here, but just something that's like, man, how do you like talk about what's, is this a good movie or a bad movie, what works about it, what doesn't work about it? And I love all those movies, by the way, I love them to death. But it's like, yeah, that'd be, or Mulholland Drive, a lot of David Lynch stuff, like this would be tricky to review. So maybe I do something like that to really kind of challenge them.
Astrodome Kid, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Todd in the Shadows once said Robin Hood Prince of Thieves was a terrible movie, but I have it on VHS and I thought it was okay. What are your thoughts?
That's another one I haven't seen since it came out.
Okay.
I remember it being bad, but it might be one of those films where if I watch it again for just how crazy some of the stuff is, it might be a little entertaining in that way, because like I did go back and watch some clips, because there was some imagery that stuck with me, like the king getting burned alive at the beginning, the weird witch, and was it Alan Arkin? No, who's the fucking Snape? What's his name? The actor.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, you know, like doing this bizarre performance. And I'm like, yeah, man, this was weird. Like, why do I remember this and nothing else? I'm like, oh yeah, Kevin Costner, he's really boring. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I should probably give it a chance just to see if the bizarre insanity of it grows on me, because I am curious to check that out.
Right, Burnt, thank you for the 50 bits. Hey, Doug, are you happy that Daniel Craig is done with James Bond? Because I know you didn't care for the Craig Bond very much. I think the reason why I liked Craig so much is because everything Pierce Brosnan did after GoldenEye left a bad taste in my mouth.
I like Tomorrow Never Dies, but yeah, no, they didn't get that good after that. He actually, it's the reverse of Brosnan. I think he got a lot better. He got a lot more interesting. And both the movies and him as an actor, I think, added a lot more depth. And I like that if you compare him in Casino Royale to blanking the name of the last one he did.
No Time to Die?
Yes, you can see growth and you can see change. And I really, really like that. And I think that is kind of a different take on Bond. Like they do some different stuff. Like Timothy Dalton was a little different and everything. But I like that with the same Bond, you see him end in a different place than when he started. I think that's really cool.
That is cool, yeah. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Just for fun, Heather, can you do your best Kamehameha Dragon Ball Z yell? I don't know if I can.
I was going to say, especially right now.
I don't know if I can with COVID, but I could try a little bit of Kamehameha. It would keep going because I have a good diaphragm, but I don't want to hurt my voice, so there you go.
I was already hearing it starting to go scratchy. They're like, oh no, she got it. It's like, okay, stop. You're good.
Yep. Hewlett fan, thank you for the 50 bits. What is the best streaming service for quality overall? Also, if Disney were finally to make a 2D animated film, how do you think they should go about it? Also, I actually like The Black Cauldron. I actually think The Black Cauldron would be a good live action movie.
Me too. Especially I hear the books are very different, so they could do something really cool with that. I mean, it all comes down to personal preference and what you like. I mean, I'm a big Disney Warner Brothers guy, so that's usually where I go. I guess I'll go to HBO Max first because you know they'll have more of an adult side to it,
right?
A little bit more of a variety. But I mean, I grew up on Disney. I'm a sucker for Disney, so I go there too.
Hermit Wazowski, thank you for the 50 bits. I may have mentioned this before, but my favorite piece of Muppet trivia is that Elmo got his current voice and personality because his previous puppeteer was stuck on what to do with him, so he literally threw the puppet at Kevin Clash and said, "You do this fucking thing."
Yeah, no,
I love it.
It's just like, whoops. That kind of exploded.
Yeah.
But I guess it would have exploded if it wasn't for him.
Right. So good for Kevin Clash. Darth Loman, thank you for the 50 bits. I've seen you play and or talk about Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, and Marvel vs. Capcom in the past. Are there any other fighting games that strike your fancy, like Tekken or Killer Instinct?
Those were fine. I mean, I'm a Capcom kid. I grew up with those fighting games, so I'm very familiar with that style. I don't know if this counts because it's just a variation of Marvel versus Capcom. But the first time I saw X-Men versus Street Fighter, I was like, shut up, get out of my brain. Nobody else wanted this but me. What the hell are you doing? So when I saw it there and all the characters are together, I'm like, you can play as Rogue? What? You couldn't even do that in the original X-Men game. What? I just lost my shit. And next to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it might be the game I played the most because I was just so obsessed with it. I just still couldn't believe this was here, like in front of me.
Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. An idea for a Doug and Brad review, Faust, Love of the Damned. It's a dark hero movie for you and a bloody NSFW for Brad, a perfect mix for the both of you.
Faust.
Love of the Damned.
I mean, I'm assuming we're not talking about the silent film, right? Let me see. Oh, no, it's a 2000 movie. Okay. Oh, so some of this imagery is fun. Wow. Oh my God. Love the way this thing looks. Okay. Maybe I'll check that out.
The Steam Lord, thank you for the 50 bits. Don't worry, Doug. If I do it, it won't be anything too goofy. Just a nice surprise message for a Christmas collab I'm working on.
Oh, for the cameo?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Though thank you all so much. Those have been going so well and have made like so much money for these charities and stuff. And that just fills my heart like you wouldn't believe, man. Like every single time I look down and it's like, you've reached your max. Oh, okay. Okay. Open them up. You've reached your max. It's so cool. And it just feels so good just like transferring it to the charities and stuff. So thank you all so much. It really, really means a great deal.
I put the link in chat as well.
Exclamation
point cameo, we'll bring it up. Godzilla fan, thank you for the 50 bits. A slapstick battle, Tom and Jerry versus Coyote and Roadrunner.
Well, I mean, I think it had to be Tom and Jerry will win because they can work together. The Coyote and Roadrunner, I don't think ever have. Or no, that'd be funny. They team up and they try to get each other. Like Jerry's riding the Roadrunner and Tom and the Coyote are trying to like come up with traps. That'd be fun.
Pudgy the Bear, thank you for that subscription. Welcome. Appreciate that. Thank you. Alexander, thank you for the 50 bits. Hi, Doug. What's your favorite film you watched for the first time this year? It doesn't have to be one that was released this year, just one that you hadn't seen before 2022.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, because I don't have time to watch like, a lot of movies from the past. I mean, okay, it's my job to watch movies from the past, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Ones I haven't seen before. Maybe the Batman. That's pretty damn great. Yeah, I'm just going through the list of movies here, and I'm just like, yeah, I think that's it. That's probably the one.
Yeah. Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 300 bits. Appreciate that. Another series that has 2 movies and a special that I highly recommend is Violet Evergarden. It's by the same studio that did A Silent Voice, the movie. It's on Netflix. Everything from the animation, story, and characters, music, and the sub/dub are excellent, in my opinion.
All right. Yeah, cool looking anime here. Cool. Yeah, try to check it out.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you played Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 yet, Doug? To me, it's as great as the second game.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought they perfected it with 2. And even I'm like, what do you add to this? I don't know. Yeah, a lot of more modern fighting games of that style where you can do like a super big crazy move I don't usually get into, except maybe Injustice. I did get into that. We played that on these Tournament Tuesdays, and I really like when you did the moves in that, like the crazy super move, it felt really good and they were really creative. It's something about doing them in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It just didn't feel right. It didn't look right. And it's not like an awful game. It's just coming off of the heels of like my all-time favorite game. So yeah, I didn't get into it, but it's by no means awful.
Cameron, thank you for the 100 bits. I can totally understand the flaws, but I actually like the prequel trilogy. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is my favorite Star Wars movie.
That's the closest one to me liking one of those prequels. And it does have like some of my favorite scenes in any of the Star Wars. I mean, it's all the Emperor too. It's all Palpatine. But yeah, that was the one where we went in really ready to make fun of it. We were making jokes, but we were quiet more than we were making jokes. We were actually kind of looking at each other like, "Are we kind of liking this?" Like we were legit shocked.
Yeah. Anu, thank you for the 50 bits. Last bits for me. How's Buster doing?
Good. Oh, I wish I could go grab him. Because you need like, because they gave him this leg surgery, but they had to shave like the whole leg and like just
Yeah.
a good chunk of him, and it looks funny. But yeah, he's getting back to playing with Chaplin again. I was shocked Chaplin didn't do like any hissing or clawing at him or anything, because I thought like, oh, we had to keep him separate for like 10 days, and I thought the scents he wouldn't like, cats aren't very good with that kind of stuff, but he just like warmed up to him right away and is back playing with him and everything. And even like, he even got a little bit more quiet after we let him out. So it's like, oh, maybe he was just missing his friend. Okay.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 50 bits. For Heather, Muzan, I'm sorry, versus Naraku. I have to go with Naraku because I haven't seen Demon Slayer. I know who you're speaking of, but I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna have to go with Naraku. Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, Doug, have you seen that Anastasia VHS TV spot I recommended to you? It's a minute in with a bunch of women eating Chinese food, praising the movie, but it's a whole lot of 90s commercial cheese.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, just I was kind of watching, like this. I don't know. It wasn't like crazy weird. Like I don't know if I review it, but it was like, oh, what an odd choice. Let's talk about this kids movie. A bunch of grown women eating Chinese food and kind of laughing. It's like, okay, why not? I guess
That's what me and my friends always do on a Saturday night.
Yeah, you think you cut to the kids talking about the movie, but no, it's the grown women there. It's like, okay.
Michael, thank you for the 50 bits. Sup, don't have a question, just sup.
So,
Hey buddy, how are you? Cameron, thank you for the 50 bits. Have you seen the movie Goodbye Christopher Robin, not the movie with Ewan McGregor?
no, but I did see I think someone on stream recommended it, and I never even heard of it. I looked up the trailer. It did look interesting. I'll try to check it out at some point. I completely forgot about it until you brought it up again. So thanks for the reminder.
TDI Charlie Brown, thank you for the 100 bits. I have to say, my favorite NC joke is in Disney Afternoon when your mom and the others came in at the end. What was your mom's reaction when you asked her to do that?
She's always been a pretty good sport about that stuff. Anytime I needed her, just to come in and be a mom, pretty much. She's always been really, really good at that. So yeah, no, it was fun. She was talking with like some of the other moms we had there and stuff like that. So yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun.
Godzilla fan, thank you for the 50 bits. Doug, does the Kelby dog still haunt your dreams like mine? Curls into a ball, sobs.
Was that the commercial
Yes.
one? Yeah, that was pretty freaky. I won't say it haunts my dreams, but I've never been able to sleep right since.
Fantastic. All right, we have some time for some highlighted
Alrighty.
questions. Amadeus Zelda asks, Doug, would you ever do a review of the 1985 Disney bomb, One Magic Christmas?
Someone recommended that last time. I never saw it. So I'll give it a look, maybe for Disney December. Maybe that'll be like the little Christmas Disney December one that we do on Christmas Day.
Matt Gammer says, if you want another slap at Will Smith, no pun intended, might I suggest iRobot if you haven't already?
Yeah, I remember that mostly just being boring. Yeah, man, that director, the guy that did The Crow and Dark City, when you see what he did afterwards, it's like, where'd that guy go? Where the like this creative visionary just kind of disappeared and did this really generic stuff.
Oliver Dreamwalker says, are you going to play Sonic Adventure 2 to get to know more about Shadow the Hedgehog, or reading a wiki about him good enough for you?
I probably should. Maybe I'll do halfway. I'll watch someone else play it online.
Well, there you go. Lord R. Wolfen says, in the next film by Dumpster Fire Studio, it's Winnie the Pooh, written by the Coen brothers, directed by Quentin Tarantino, with Nicolas Cage as Pooh, John Malkovich as Christopher Robin, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Piglet, Chris Rock as Eeyore, Samuel L. Jackson as Tigger, Pauly Shore as Owl, Adam Sandler as Rabbit, and Christopher Walken as Roo.
Samuel Jackson, bounce! I dare you! I double dare you, motherfucker!
There you go. Jack C wants to know your next Friday game.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. Sorry, it was going to be in the NC. We were going to announce in the middle, but, shit happens.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 50 bits. I know you did a Disney December review, but has your opinion on Bolt changed?
Bolt.
I forgot that existed, about the dog with the lightning
right?
bolts?
Yeah, John Travolta, right? I liked it. I remember enjoying it. I don't remember getting like a lot of laughs, but I remember being like really, really cute. And I think Travolta as that dog was really, really cute. I think it's about the same.
Sean Sugar Daddy, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug Walker, at last we meet. I'm a huge fan of your videos. Also, have you ever watched the 2017 Power Rangers movie?
Yeah, it's a sad miscalculation because I know what they were trying to do is saving the Power Rangers for the end, but it didn't quite work. I like some of the performances though, and it really is one of those where it's like, God, I give you an A for effort. I really see what you were trying to do, and your heart was in the right place. You're trying to make it dramatic while still having the corny cheese, and that's great. I don't think it quite worked, but it's cool seeing how many like early stars are in there, because aren't there like quite a few celebrities that went on to stuff from that movie, I think?
I never saw it. I don't know. TDI Charlie Brown, thank you for the 50 bits. There's a Disney kart racing game coming out for Switch in the near future. Maybe a 2-for-1 as a Tournament Tuesday and a Disney December. I've got my eye on it.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's possible.
Okay. That'd be a good fast one, too, if the other games take too long to play and I still need like two more or one more and need a fast one. That'd actually be a really good one. So,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, got our eye on it.
Azure Ring asks, have you seen Amphibia yet? And if so, what are your thoughts?
We got someone that asks like every single time. I think I'm like halfway through season 1. I like it. I mean, it seems more like a kid show than like a family show. It doesn't seem like there's a ton for adults, but I get the feeling they're gonna add more grown-up stuff as it goes along. But it's okay so far.
And this will be our last one. Hewlett Fan says, I know it would never happen, but if for whatever reason there was to never be another Star Wars film and Disney made one final film, what would be the best film to end its incredible legacy?
Like a new idea or one that already like exists?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Man, I don't know. You know what I like to see? Something, it's not even like a huge epic battle or anything like that. It's something I want to see like Yoda maybe walking within like that weird thing at the end of Rebels with like the timelines or whatever, where he's kind of in between time and space. Yeah, and maybe he's meeting up with like other Jedis from the past, like both living and dead and stuff like that, and they're all just kind of chilling and talking and being one with the Force, and maybe something like that. I feel that'd be like, yeah, because you could get everything Star Wars in there. Then like that'd be kind of cool. Not a big action-packed thing. I mean, just a nice little like looking back, remembering like just what this was. Like that'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, I agree. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for being here on our very first Wednesday chatting stream. Appreciate you being here. Of course, we remember that we do have content here 6 days a week. I have updated the exclamation point schedule, so you can use the exclamation point schedule for the correct schedule. Tamara will be here tomorrow, so if you came here expecting to see Tamara, you will see her tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Malcolm will be here on Friday. Doug will also be here on Friday. We've got awesome comics on Saturday, and I should be back on Monday. It'll be fun, all right? So come on back, hang out with us. We'll be here, and we always appreciate seeing y'all. So have a wonderful day.
Bye. Take care. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
See
Goodbye.
ya.
Goodbye. Goodbye.